inspiration, motivation, or hope? Do you let fear hold you back? Sometimes you feel lost or just stuck in your own thoughts, and you want a clear path to give you results. Then, my friend, you are in the right place. My name is Rachel Best, and I am your host of How to Make a Mark in the World, Finding Your Signature. Go ahead and grab a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes. Good morning. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go. You're good. You're good. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it is a great morning. Here we are, October, right when things are like in the middle. You know, you got summer ending, fall coming. It's just one of the best times of the year.
Yes. I forget, where are you located?
So I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Texas.
Okay. Do you guys have the Four Seasons there?
We say we do. It could all happen in one day, you know. In the meantime, it could be cold, you know, it is off the scale. So yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. Do leaves change and all that good stuff there?
No, they may fall, but that's it.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm from Ohio, so I'm in Florida right now, but in Ohio, the leaves change and it gets really, really pretty there. But yeah, so today I so thank Derrik. I thank you, Derrik, for hopping on today to just be on the podcast, How to Make a Mark in the World. And you are for sure making a mark in the world. I got the opportunity to meet Derrik through a mutual community and collaboration of just people that are really making impact. And we've had a couple. I got to interview him for another podcast, and he was on my summit, and I just thought he'd be awesome to be on here because he has so much value to add, so many nuggets. And so grab your pen and paper, and Derrik, tell us who you are and how are you making a mark in the world?
Well, Rachel, first off, thank you so much. And it has been just a privilege for our short period of time. I feel like I've known you so much longer. But so for me, you know, everything goes around the word AssistU2Win. And I founded the brand, and it's all about being number one at being number two. What I found many times, especially in the entrepreneurial world, people that have something on the inside of them, they need that individual that can come alongside them and encourage them down times, help provide strategy so that they can sell and scale, or just the accountability that's needed in the space in order to stay consistent until that breakthrough comes. And so that's what really AssistU2Win does. We function in different forms, different fashion at different times, really based on the needs of the individual and where we connect with them and what that person needs at that moment. And so that's how we are making our mark in the world, is by really assisting people to keep that winner's mentality around their life so that they don't sell out to a lower dream, but they sell out to their dream.
That's good. Because I know so many times that people, they have a dream, or you might even encounter this too. They have a dream, but they either don't pursue it or they quit too soon.
Yeah. No, that's so true. Right. And it's one of those, like, it's kind of like driving on that long road trip. You know that you're going to have additional fuel along the way. And it's like, how do you keep the fuel tank on F and not on E? And how do you keep believing even when you don't see? You know, there's those dream tests that we encounter along that process that you have to get knocked down, have to get back up, and then have to continue on with the same belief that you did when you first started.
Yeah. And so, you know, share with us a little bit, like, what got you to this point? To how long have you been in business? How long have you been assisting you to win?
Yeah. I feel like I've done it all my life, but really from a formal standpoint, 2012, so about 11 years.
Nice. And so what got you into creating your own business? Like where lead us up to 2012 when you decided to launch out your business?
I think what got me here was, as I always say, I started to really review the pieces of my life, which led me to founding the purpose of my life. Sometimes we see segments of our lives and, we see like, okay, this is what I'm doing right now. Like for me, I was teaching school. I was a fourth grade school teacher at one point. And, I enjoyed that. But that was a season of my life. And then when I turned the page and went to the next chapter, I found myself inside of sales. And that's where I really started to see kind of all of my journey come together. I saw my athletic career being competitive. I saw the military structure that I grew up in and the discipline that I needed. I saw the church world and the faith that I have and had to exercise that faith with clients. And I saw all of this. Then I saw the leadership world, John Maxwell and the books that I read. I'm a John Maxwell certified coach. And it was like, okay, why did I go through each of these moments? And what am I going to do because I went through these moments? And from there was where I really looked at my position on the basketball court. I was a point guard. I looked at my role inside of my church. I was like second in command for a period of time. My role in the dealership, I was the general sales manager. And I said, really, what am I doing? I'm assisting people to win. And there the brand got birthed. And I had to kind of evolve with the brand. It's like sometimes you think you can impact everybody. And so I thought I could just go. So there was the speaking component to it, the coaching component to it. And so now I really just know it's my life mission. It's just my mantra. It's who I live. I wake up every day and, we just built everything that we do around AssistU2Win.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. And it's so funny, like when we're in those different periods, like I've looked back in my life and like when we're in different periods of life and the jobs that we're in or the people that we're with or like you said, like the church and you were point guard and just like it's always so interesting to really like look back and connect the dots of why did I go through how did this or why did I go through this? But then when you circle it all together and you start putting those pieces together, you're like, oh, well, I had to do this, or I had to learn that, or this is why I went through this so that I could learn this, so that it potentially is your purpose in life and how you're designed for such a time as this to help people. And so I just always find it so interesting to look back in my own life and just see how all the pieces come together. And how cool for you, like you were a teacher and then to sales and just really like sitting down and thinking like, okay, what is it? And you just birthed this AssistU. And I love that it just like kind of just organically happened, right?
Well, yeah. The whole thing around the name and the brand, yes, it organically happened. And then it was like we had to keep defining it, because at first you start so broad and then you start narrowing in. And what I think what it is sometimes we don't own just who we are. We don't own our story. We don't own our process and our journey. There's places of shame even in our journey, right? Of course, when we get to here, we can look back on those things and say, oh man, I'm glad that I went through this because it taught me this. But I mean, how do you tell a kid when people are talking about your last name that ridicule was going to help you in business one day, right? Rejection is a part of sales. It's a part of even what we teach. And how do you use rejection for redirection? How do you know who you are so that words don't impact you the same way? But when you're in the very moment where that muscle's being developed, you're not thinking, oh yeah, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we're going to use this to help somebody else. How can I get out of this? So as you stated, yes, looking back, you do bring that connection. And that's really some of the secret sauce to somebody in the entrepreneurial world is don't give up while you're still in it. just continue to allow it to mold you and make you into who you're ultimately going to be, so you can make that mark in the world.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's great advice. And something that you said a little bit ago too is like, when it was birthed, and then you had to go through this process of like narrowing it down. So go through a little bit of that with us, because I know for myself too, like How to Make a Mark was just supposed to be a book. Like that was just my book. And then it just organically became the brand. And I've been over the last, since it's been the brand and just organically growing, I've been in that like refining of like figuring it out too. And so share with us a little bit of how, like, as you released AssistU2Win, and kind of the process from where you were to getting yourself to like really narrow down into knowing what it is that you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, great question. So I think one of the things is that people have to remind themselves that there's a piece of failure that you just have to go through. And in doing it, you got to start to, as I say, you got to monitor all the things that happen around your business. So for me, I evaluate a lot. And so I had to look at, where did my yeses come from and where are my nos at? Because of course, when you're a speaker, especially, and you have a message of hope, you think that message can be it can be delivered anywhere. So for me, initially, I thought, well, okay, I got this great message, I got a story, and any business would want me to come. Well, when you start getting no's, you have to start to evaluate, why am I getting the no? Am I getting the no because I don't know anybody in the area? I don't relate to anybody. So then you start seeing, where did your yeses come from? And when I really started to get it was when I thought about sales to the business. And that was, we used to always say, if you get a yes, you can grow a yes. So you have to sometimes look at where your yes comes from, and then you analyze that yes, because there's more people, businesses, individuals, organizations that are like the thing that said yes to you. Go deeper there. We say, find your niche, dig a ditch, and that ditch can ultimately increase to impact you to make riches, right? So I found that place was around sales, and it just was like, man, when I talk sales, people start listening. When I tell the story, people start listening. So then you had to say, okay, which sales groups are you going to impact? So notice it was the questions that I continued to ask. And if you keep asking the questions, it's like for a person, I want to make a mark in the world. Great. Who do you want to make a mark to? Well, anybody. Okay, great. Does anybody want to hear me? No. Okay. Then you keep asking the question, you end up finding out, like, okay, it's like this group of people really like to listen to me. So how do I go and find that group of people in Iowa, in Pennsylvania, in Florida? And then you start to have the momentum that you need to be able to brand who you are, so that people can identify that anywhere and everywhere. So it was really the questions, and it was allowing myself to fail, and not seeing failure as failure or final, right? But seeing failure as a teacher. It's telling you something. Listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make those adjustments.
Yeah, failure is feedback. Failure is not failure, right? Failure is only failure if you quit. If you just quit and throw in the towel, then then it's failure.
Now I quit too,
But
though. I've done that too, though.
I was just going to ask you. I'm like, have you ever in the last since 2012 just felt like you're like, and just want to throw in the towel and
Yeah.
share some of those moments with us.
Yeah. So I remember right when COVID was happening. So before COVID, I was the king of Zooms and the king of these private rooms and impacting people in small groups, because my coaching was starting to spread, not just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I was doing that. Of course, when COVID hit, everybody went to the space of Zooms and team meetings and those things. And it was like the space got so crowded that I don't know, I just didn't want to keep going in that direction anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting all of my materials. I mean, you see, I got shirts that I have hats, I have all kind of things. And I remember getting a bulk of it and just putting it in the trash. Like I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm just gonna
Oh
go.
my goodness.
Yeah, I was just done, and I was like, I'm just gonna go back to the dealership world. I'll impact people through AssistU2Win at the dealership, and I'm just gonna do that, right? And I'm not gonna chase this thing, and so I did, and I went back to the dealership world. Of course, the brand doesn't stop just because I'm at the dealership. It just says through the car industry, I'm gonna do it, right? Which is no problem in that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like then there was a calling and the tugging and the people, here they are. Hey, Derrik, are you doing any coaching anymore? Nope, not doing it. And I was like, no, not. I'm just going to just do it this way. And that was it. Then you realize like, okay, you know what? You just have to redefine who you are. And really that was when I learned my pricing model. Like there's so many different stages of the business aspect of this that people don't realize. I mean, the first thing you're trying to do, you find purpose. Then you have to have a process of how you impact your purpose. Then from that, you have to have a pricing model that keeps your business afloat. And my pricing model was so messed up before that even though people were getting results, I wasn't getting to the place that I needed to get to. So I had to perfect that. And during that period, I recognized that, oh, your value add to this industry is worth more than you've been, charging. So I had to get that whole thing in line. But again, what stages of the business, and if I would have just totally quit, I quit for a temporary time, but we know how it is when it's in your heart and it's burning, you're not going to just throw it away. So, we picked back up, we started a different way, and man, we had such great success, but it was because we found our niche. I knew my yes people and I knew my referral people. And so we started, and this is when I really understood the principle of abundance. And the principle of abundance was some people are an invitation to my business while others are an introduction to somebody else's. And so that was the other aspect of AssistU2Win is I became a connector. Like, I don't write books, that's not my thing. I wrote a book, but I don't write books with people. So, hey, this is the person you need. Hey, you know what? I don't really want to help people from this aspect of speaking. So, hey, but this person, they do a great job. And what was I doing though? Assisting that person to win. And so when I found out what I wanted to help in, and I knew where my business started and stopped, I was able then to steer people to the places that could really serve them. Even though I could do them good, man, people pay for number one. They don't pay for number two. So I needed to do them right by giving them who service with excellence that arena.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that um, I'm a connector too. I love connecting people. So, and I love that you are the kind of person that you want everybody to win. And so you could try to do it right, but it doesn't, you have the other person's best interest at heart. And so like that really shows right there that okay, I could maybe help them, but it's not going to be up to what they really need. So you know what, I'm just going to connect them where they need to go. And so I love that. That just shows that you have a huge heart for people to just really assist them to win. And so that's really awesome. And like it's crazy as you're talking and you're like, that's just only been 3 years ago. So, just said, forget it. You threw in the trash, but then here you are. So how long did you work at are you still working at the dealership or
No.
okay. How long was that? You said temporary. That's right. So how long did you work there before you're like, okay, like I need to just get back in it?
Well, I think a year and a half. Yeah.
Okay.
Year and a half. Yeah. Yeah. And I had a great time, right? Because The beauty of my business is as long as they speak English, because
Mhm.
unfortunately I don't know other languages. So, but as long as they speak English and they have an end goal in mind, man, I love it. So that's what I thrive off of, though. I thrive off of seeing that person, their next happen now. I mean, that's
Mm.
my deal, right? I thrive off of seeing your next happen right now and not waiting on it, but knowing that you can go after it right now.
Mhm. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you decided to pick it back up and to keep going. And yeah, when we have such a burning desire inside of us, it doesn't matter what happens, right? Like you just like you said, you just stop and you reflect and you ask yourself questions. And when you stop and reflect when things aren't working, then you just figure it out. And you take the time to just sit with yourself and figure out what's working, what's not working, and also even maybe even reaching out to people. So tell us, like, what is some of the best advice that you've ever been given so to just help you to keep moving forward?
I think the best advice I've been given is to understand who you are, what you
Mm,
do, and understand there's a rookie class waiting on you. And when I really got this advice was you stop chasing who you think you're like, right?
mm,
You especially in the speaking community and oh, I can coach or oh, I know this and not playing the comparison game or I'm better than game and oh, I just need a break game, but looking and growing your own garden. And
mm,
when you do, your tribe, they will respond to you. You can grow that tribe, and it just takes time. I mean, when you look at the people that are coming around your area, just know if you will tend to that garden, you'll grow a beautiful community. And so it was really investing back into the people that said yes to me. And
mm.
so as I did, our community continued to expand, but it was only going to do it to the place that I was giving that community all of me.
Mm. That's good. That's good. And like you said a lot of keywords there. The rookie class, the comparison, and the taking time and the nurturing the garden. Like those are some really big keys right there. Because like I know like in with coaching and stuff, like I've really embraced the not comparison
Mhm.
and not comparing myself to other people. And so, because that's like the thief, right? Like, comparison is the thief of all joy. And when I realized that, like I have my own gifts and talents and my life experiences, as well as you have your gifts, talents, and life experiences, and nobody is like you, nobody has your knowledge. And so, just like putting those blinders on and just staying in your own lane
Right.
and and then the taking time, like we want everything microwave, right? Like that's the fast pace of everything. Like if the internet's not working in like 0.1 second, like we're getting mad, right? And so or we're impatient, I should say. And so everybody wants this microwave business, and that's just not how it's not sustainable. Like I know I worked in a network marketing company for 8.5 years, and it was very quick, growing, and but it also can go very quick as well. And so, taking the time and nurturing and, building that solid foundation. And my husband and I have these conversations a lot about, just building the solid foundation rather than being in sinking sand and always trying to, keep going, but like just taking the time and building the relationships and connecting with people. And these are such huge keys to like to build that foundation, to take the time to build the community, to stay in your own lane. And I love how you just said the rookie class. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, yeah. So, rookie class to me is just it's when you start off, you're in between who you're going to be and who you used to be. And so there's something that you have that you can go and teach right now. And so the first group of people that start to come to you, that's your rookie class. And so if you will help get results for that rookie class will go and be your raving fans and help you get to the next group of people. And so that because when it's all said and done, people, that's what they want, right? They want results. So whatever it is that we do and deliver, we have to be so clear on it that here's the results you're going to get by coming and hanging out with me for this period of time. And when you deliver those results, now you can go and market those results, and other people that want or need that they're going to come to your front door. So your rookie class is all about really your proof of concept in a business, right? It's your proof of concept that all this process, whatever your 5-step plan, your 3-step, your 1-step, whatever that looks like to that individual, that it really does work. So now when I'm able to deliver it, these folks get the result that they want. Twofold happens, man. Your marketing goes out the roof, and then they're going to go get you a referral. So that's that rookie class.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so good. That's something that I think a lot of people need to hear. I would even say myself need to hear. And just that rookie class of, we just really need to just be one step ahead, right? One step ahead of the people that we're helping, and also getting them the results. So that's a I like that. That's really good. And so, Derrik, tell us, what's next? Like, oh my gosh, the end of October, you only have 2 months left of the year. What is next for the remaining of 2023, and what's your vision for 2024? Do you have that planned out?
Oh yeah. So, what's next for 2023 is landing the plane, right? So I started probably 2 months ago from the aspect of what are we doing in 2024? And, I built what's called Sales Tag University. And so that university really focuses it's a threefold concept of how we teach it. And it's the belief, your mentality to sales. Then it's your attraction model. How do you attract the people that you help and serve? And then finally, what is your closing strategies? So in 2024, we're doing 3 live summits where we go and take a deep dive in each of those components. So we'll have a believe seminar where all we do is talk about how you get the right mentality around sales, around yourself, because before you sell a product, you're selling yourself. So how do you really sell you? How do you now sell the product? And then how do you also sell the results back of what you deliver? Because naturally, there's so much inside of that. Then attract is how do you have an online and offline presence? And that's what's going to attract your tribe, and you're going to grow that from having that branding and marketing feel. And then naturally close. What are those closing conversations? How do you set it up? Success is in the setup. So it's not just, everybody focuses on how to be a closer. I like to talk about how to be an opener, because if you can't open the conversation and find out if the person needs who it is that you are and what you have and what you serve, you're never going to close it, right? So we then teach a systematic format of how to close that conversation so that you get more yeses and ultimately learn how to nurture your no's.
That's awesome. Well, how exciting. So do you have all those dates set up and launched out, or is that something that's coming?
So yeah, so they're coming, but yeah, they're launched out inside of like our community, that we have. We haven't really launched everything out publicly yet, but there's 3 dates, 3 different cities. So 3 cities that I just love to play. For me, I love to play golf in. So, like we're doing our first one in Dallas, we're going to Atlanta, and then we're also going to Tampa. And so we're doing each of the different seminars in different places, because naturally we said, how do we grow our network of people? We have to be intentional. So we're being intentional around that, right? So I get to play golf when we come, and then we get to serve people while we're there. And so, yeah, everything we do right now is with a lot of intentionality around it. So
that's awesome. So you get to work and you get to play, right?
Oh yeah. I always tell my wife, the greater alignment we can have is when our business happens on golf courses. Then we know we're right in line with what we want to do, right? So.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's awesome. Well, Derrik, I have appreciated and just enjoyed this last hanging out and interviewing you. And, how can people, if people want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so it's real simple. AssistU2Win.com. Derrik Butts, AssistU2Win. It's either one of those two things somewhere online. Derrik Butts, AssistU2Win. Derrik Butts, AssistU2Win. Derrik Butts, AssistU2Win. So AssistU2Win.com. Don't I always tell people it's the letter U, the number two. So, but yeah, from there, that there's plenty of ways to reach out, connect, from a consultation call to a cell phone numbers on sites. I mean, we're here. We're very accessible.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you. You shared a lot of nuggets. I definitely want to go back and re-listen to some of the things that you shared, and I appreciate you. So,
Thank you so much.
um,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, anytime I see you, I always think I love it because I love what your brand is, how to make a mark
Oh,
in the world. And then I always say your last name goes right in line with it, right? You help people be the best that they can be. So I love it.